Test, 1, 2, 3. Right, just going to do the obligatory rev test here. Hear how that sounds. Yeah, fantastic. Listen to that. Lovely. Hi guys, here at Audi in Guildford, just by the AMG garage actually, another brand that's very, very familiar with me and I really enjoy. Today we're going to be looking at an EV. Exciting times, right? No combustion engines in sight. I hear there's now about 250,000 EV cars on the UK roads. This is one of them. Very nice indeed. It is the Audi e-tron RS GT. So we're going to go out for a drive in this thing, check it out, see what's going on. Really looking forward to it because it's supposed to be an awesome bit of kit. We'll talk about the numbers, see how quickly it goes, have a look at the interior, and we're going to compare it to the 570S as well, how that stacks up as a driving experience against this, which is all powered by electric motors and wizardry. Anyway, let's get out for a drive in this thing. Okay, so just started this thing up and it sounds mad. It's got like this kind of ominous, threatening chord type sound that you might hear in the background of a movie. So we're just going to start it up now and hopefully you can hear this on camera, but it's a very interesting, very almost spaceship ethereal kind of sound going on. Check this out. Hopefully you can hear that, but yeah, crazy. Right, so a look around this thing. It is very, very nice indeed. Really cool stance, much better in person than on the photos I've seen. Really has a lot of presence. You can see the kind of width that the car has, the stance. Very, very nice indeed. Wide, it's large. We'll probably be chatting to the driver who's just bought one of these, guy called Keith, in a bit. But yeah, lovely looking car, really nice. Just coming down here, it's got that aggressive Audi stance. Of course, no air intakes as it's all electric. You can see the radar, I guess, there for adaptive cruise control. Loads of tech in this thing. It'd be great to see how it drives. What a weird sound. Okay, so now out in the e-tron myself for a little burn, just to see how it compares to the McLaren, the 570S. And I have to say, this is my first time in an EV. And I must apologise, I've not got my proper camera mount set up, so this might be shaking around a little bit. My bad. Better preparation next time. So how is it? First impressions? Well, it is blooming good, I'm not gonna lie. First EV drive. First EV drive, and I am thoroughly impressed. I never thought I'd hear myself say that I could accept an EV as a way of getting around. Okay. But this car is very good. Now, weighs 2.5 tons, so there's no denying it is a heavy car. But it doesn't feel that. It doesn't feel that at all. It's really, really light, really nimble. It corners fantastic. I'm not going to corner too much because the camera's shaking about everywhere at the moment. So apologies for that. But yeah, it's really, really good. The steering I find a little bit light. It's a bit kind of electronically, maybe a bit disconnected. But the driving experience is really very good. The noise is good. It's weird, it's different, but I like it, I really do. And the pickup in this is bonkers. I have to hold on to the camera a little bit there. But yeah, the pickup in this car is brilliant. So more than one car. Unfortunately, it does fail the golf club test. They have to go in the back seat.
And if you've got somebody tall in the passenger seat, that is.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room in the back. Grand Tourer it is. Okay, so it's time for a quick walk around of this car so we can dig into just kind of how it looks and compare it to the 570S because we've got them both here, so why not? Right, kicking off with the alloys. I think they're a little bit Marmite, I'm not going to lie. Certainly an interesting look on those, but yeah, I mean, they're functional, no doubt about it. This is the Vorsprung, right, Vorsprung, so it's got lots of additional carbon pieces, carbon elements here. You can see here on the front wing, carbon there, carbon mirrors and a carbon roof as well. Really, I don't know how much it does for the fact that it still weighs 2.5 tons, but obviously helps. Carbon ceramic brakes on this, which is interesting. Not cross-drilled though. It's raining because it's the UK, so the car's a little bit dirty, but it's very, very murdered out, very, very black. In terms of the size of these things, I'll just come out a bit here. You can see the McLaren is a lot smaller. Let's just close the doors on this because they shouldn't be open. Not fair representation. And swing back around and do that again. So, yeah, I think together, I mean, obviously the e-tron is a much bigger car, right? But look at that back end. I think that is fantastic. Super aggressive. Very sloping. Definitely a fastback kind of car. But which one would you choose? E-tron, electric, environmentally friendly, or McLaren? It's a tough one, isn't it? Depends what you like. These engines aren't going to be around for much longer, so I think enjoy them while you can if you want to, is the motto here. But yeah, that's it for a quick walk around, I think. Cool. That's it.
Have one of each.
Oh, it's nice though, isn't it?
It is.
Okay, so one of the things that always comes up in conversation whenever you talk about EVs is that of range anxiety. So we picked this car up with, I think, 149 miles remaining. We're now down to 133 miles. When we picked it up, it had, I guess, just over half a tank.
The equivalent of half.
Can you call it half a tank when you're talking EV? Half a full battery, whatever it is. So, I mean, it's real, right? And the challenge is when this runs out, we're stuck. We can't just go to a petrol station and fill it up. It has to sit somewhere and charge. And I guess that's one of the problems that we've got in the UK at the moment is a complete lack of superchargers, the supercharger network. So you can charge this thing from your home plug overnight, and it'll take a very long time indeed. Indeed, I think if you're in America and you're looking at 110 volts, the car actually uses more charge to charge itself than it does to actually charge the battery, so it's almost unworkable. You see people with external chargers now installed in the UK, which absolutely helps, but there's no three-phase power in most homes in the UK. So Keith, why are you looking to convert from bang bang pop pop pistons and cylinders to EV?
Part of it is actually that it is the future, and joining early, both for good or bad. I do genuinely believe in lower emissions, and like so many people, I got caught by buying diesels which emit far too much, give you far too little. And I do actually believe that the electric car, EV is not electric vehicle, is experimental vehicle. They're still very early phase. And I do consider myself an early adopter. But I do believe that this is the future. As yet, there hasn't been anything else, and that includes hydrogen, that gets you anywhere near the level of cleanness that this thing will do. Actually, as you can see, I'm really enjoying this. This is great fun. This is a great car.
Yeah, it really is. I have to say the tech in this is phenomenal, right? So it's a heavy car, this. It weighs 2.5 tons, I think, and that is all down to the battery these things have. So they loads of lithium-ion cells in them, which weigh a lot. It's just big lumps of solid metal in your car, and that really adds to the weight. It's counteracted by the bhp. I think this is 637 bhp on overboost, which is pretty nuts. and a lot of torque as well. And of course, you don't have to worry about gear changes. It just pulls from a standstill to a very, very fast pace indeed. No gear changes, no drama, it just goes, it keeps going and going and going. And the ride of this thing, because it's so heavy, is brilliant. It's really smooth. It's almost like being in a Rolls Royce, to be fair, because it's so planted on the road. All that weight soaks up the bumps that you experience as you kind of go over. Really, really nice car to be in, really nice cabin. I'm not driving at the moment though, and I must admit, I'm already starting to get a slight sense of range anxiety. I'm now thinking, do we have enough water on board? Should we get stranded for months on end on a motorway in this car? It's a real possibility. So again, all the things you need to think about when you've got an EV is just the difference that, for example, whacking the aircon on will have on the range. So if we pop that up to max, you can see we'll save 11 miles if we take it off. So all these little things that you worry about or think about when you drive an EV. Noise of that thing. Yeah, so I think that what you're saying is, even though it's an EV, it feels familiar, right? It's, yeah, you quite happily convert to one. And you're going to have to do that because you bought one, right? So no pressure.
Well, it is comfortable, but then when you want to, you can give it and boot it, and it seriously goes. What's not to like?
Absolutely. It is a lovely car. Just needs to be easier to fill up.
Well,
so two other topics for conversation which I think are quite important in this car. Number one is the noise, right? So as you know, I've got the 570S. Definitely a combustion engine, makes a lot of noise and a right racket. This is very different. Obviously it's an EV, it doesn't have a traditional combustion engine, and as we saw at the start of this video, it makes this kind of ethereal, unearthly whine, and that is because it's got a speaker system which is set up for that. I understand it's got an amp in it and an external speaker, just like Tesla's, which makes this sound so that you get a bit of feeling as to what you're doing, and also pedestrians can hear you coming, right? So that's probably going to be a specific directive going forward, that these things have to make a sound so you can hear them.
And then voice control.
Navigate to Green Lane, Addlestone.
You can now say additional search terms or select a line number.
Voice recognition that actually works. It's emotional. I was a bit concerned that I wouldn't like the sound of this. I just think it wouldn't be enough theatre, but I think it is pretty darn good, and the more I sit in this thing, the more I'm getting to like it. Another thing as well is the build quality of this car. It is brilliant. You've probably seen the clips of the Urus online. The build quality of the Lambo Urus, a bit plasticky, but in true Audi style, it's funny because it's part of the same group, but in true Audi style, this is really well put together. I've always been very impressed with the build quality of Audis, and I think probably another level above Tesla as well. And it doesn't really feel like an EV to me. It feels like just a car, which again would help me to easily convert to one. You're not a fan of Tesla, are you, Keith?
No.
No.
And probably bring on the ire of the Tesla fan club, of which I know an awful lot of people who've got Teslas, and a lot of it actually isn't just Tesla, it's Elon Musk himself.
Well, that's a whole other kettle of worms. And if you have cryptocurrency, yeah. If you got any crypto, Tesla and crypto don't mix at the moment, but anyway.
Yeah. But it's in terms of the sheer feel and quality, this is, I think it's more than one step better than the Tesla. This is right up there with the best comfortable quality Audis, I think. it's one of the things they're really well known for. So this seat is just so comfortable.
Yeah, I've got to say, the seats in this are one of the standout elements of the car. They're really, really comfortable. So very, very pleased with them. Done a great job there. So this is undoubtedly a great car. The pickup is brilliant. It's so fast, so smooth. Just kind of goes into almost like lazy warp drive, if you like. No gear changes to worry about, just effortless, and it's quick. It really is quite a quick car. Would I buy one? Probably at some point. I'm going to have to. I think everyone's going to have to, right? But one thing that would bother me is the current UK charging network. It's just not set up. There's just not enough of them to kind of be able to plan your journeys properly. I still think that's a real issue. I think as more houses get three-phase power, higher charging capability, it's going to be a real viable option for a lot of people. And there's plenty of people out there doing it already and getting on just fine. I think me coming from the ability to just pop a hose into a car and fill it up and then you're off again, it's kind of a mindset conversion, right? So that's going to take some time to get around. But yeah, this car, the e-tron, is absolutely brilliant. So hope you enjoyed this one. Hope you enjoyed the opinions, and catch you very soon on the next one. Bye for now.